All right. Hello and welcome back. Brett here. And in this video, we're going to talk about what we do with all of these thoughts on death and in meeting Christ and the people around us in the world and how we might meet Jesus before we think, and how other people are going to meet Jesus before we think. We may not have the time to reach people as much as we think. So and we talk about this in other decision making courses, and this one really comes down to the importance of time. So we have a limited amount of time here on this earth, in this world full of the dead, to reach people and to do something with the talents that God's given us. And when we talk about the resources that we have on a daily basis, we want to be the highest functioning people we can. And we want to use, sorry about that, we want to use all of the resources that we've been entrusted with. And we don't want to take everything into our own hands and, you know, take more responsibility than we should and do everything without God. No, we want to do it with God. We also want to use, say, if you got 10 resources a day, you want to use as many of those as you can. If you can use all 10 every day, that's the goal. And there's no guilt or shame or judgment if you don't, because we're all going to heaven. We're all saved. Christ makes up the difference. But I personally don't want to leave anything on the table. And what this means is that of all the resources we have and of all the resources that we can allocate and use strategically and use all the mental models and all the things that we talk about, time, energy, effort, right? Mental attention, decisions is a limited resource every day. The most important one is your time, because with time, it doesn't come back every day, like your attention or your physical energy, right? And even that slows and comes in less and less. But with the unlike money, you can always get more money. You know, if you need money, God will provide the money. You can always get more money. You cannot get more time. You cannot get more time. So it is a limited resource, one of the few. And secondly, you don't know how much you have. And that's probably the most difficult part, because you can't even, the best thing you can do is use all the time you have now. Um, and so optimizing for time and using it wisely. And that doesn't mean working 24 hours a day. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is being intentional with it. As an example, in the new, so right now it's January 2nd. This is not a New Year's resolution. I started this in the middle of December, and I just, you know, trying to get more and more on track. The holidays are crazy, but moving forward here, um, I'm trying, I am eliminating phone games from my phone, because, and again, you'll notice it has nothing to do with work. This just has to do with personal development and sanctification and becoming like Christ. If I'm tired and it's 7 o'clock and the kids go to bed and my wife and I are sitting on the couch and I pop my phone open, I'll disappear into phone games for a couple hours. Well, is it bad to have phone games or, be a pocket gamer? No. You know, if it's like 30 minutes or an hour or something that's scheduled in for intentional, just total shutdown time and relax, I'm sure, I guess. I don't think there's a problem with that. But, I could do longer than that. Easy, but it's unstructured. It's not intentional. I'm just shutting off. And then that can affect my relationship with my wife and I. I don't want that to be the case. I would rather sit and just sit next to her and be present. That's better than sitting on my phone and not being present. Now, is that what I'm going to do? No. We've got chess, we've got books, we've got Bible studies. There's all kinds of things we can do together. I just have to choose to be present, because God, when I meet Christ, he is going to say, What did you do in the time in the evenings for those 5 years, those 10 years, those 30 years with your wife? Did you help her to know me more? Did you add to her in some meaningful way, or did you just sit around like a like a turd? Sorry. Uh yeah, oh yeah, I totally just sat around, did nothing. I was passive. I didn't take ownership over that part of the talents you entrusted me with. I don't want that answer. So what am I doing? For me, and again, this isn't the right answer for everyone. I'm just cutting them out just to just to challenge myself, just for that, just for the sake of it. Um, being more consistent with the time I wake up. My goal is to be up at 5:30 in the morning every morning. Right now, it's 7 o'clock. I used to be doing it at 6, and we had some crazy interruptions to our schedule about 4 months ago, but having a hard time pushing it back. But I want to get back. I want to get back to 6 and then 5:30. And so I've already got alarms set to be doing that. Um, in regard to time, sugar. I cut out all the sugar, and I'm really trying hard to stick to that. And I mean processed sugar, sugar and milk and stuff. I'm not worried about. Just healthy sugars and fruit and things is fine. But I'm trying to cut out the processed sugar because I love sugar, and sugar takes time away from you. I don't have any, thank God, I don't have any addictions that are more serious than that. But also, I need to chill on sugar because it's not about me. My life is not about me. It's about what I'm able to give. And if I get diabetes and I go 5 years sooner than I would have otherwise, I'm going to get to answer for that because why? I didn't honor my body as a temple of the Lord. Um, so, you know, we're cutting sugar, and I'm learning how to work with that and cope with that and still function. And because you obviously just get sugar cravings and stuff, but that's another example of time. Lastly, let me think of one more here to give you an example. One of the things that I hate doing and my wife hates doing is shopping for groceries. And it takes a whole day. It's just a whole day. It's literally one full day a week. We get the kids, we got to go into town and go to the store, go to a different store. And it's obnoxious. So 1/7, which is just a huge amount of time of our week is spent shopping for food. And my wife and I were both putting it off one day, and I was like, how could we just totally remove this entirely from our lives and get all that time back to do something better? I mean, literally anything else. And turns out these grocery stores deliver. And not only do they deliver, they do it for $8. $8. So we put in our order once a week, it saves our order, and they bring it by for $8. And the shocking thing is that it costs 10 in gas to go to town. I don't understand how they do it. It's magic or something. But you know, I get to I get a whole day back. And I mean like out the door 10 a.m., back 5 p.m. Like it's a whole day. I get a half a dozen plus hours back. And I also save money. So I save time and I save money just because we thought about it. And so, and if you think about that in regard to time, is that a good use, a good stewardly use of my resources, assuming I take the time that I saved and use it for something that's honoring to God? On Sundays, I spend more time with my kids instead of shopping for groceries and teach them some of the things I teach you, yeah, that's a great stewardship of resources. And how much did I save? That's 4 days a month. That's 48 days a year. It's about 50 days. 50 productive days where I could be doing something other than shopping. I just got back just because I looked at a website to see if they did delivery and discovered it was way cheaper than we didn't think it was going to be that inexpensive. Turns out it is. I immediately got 48 days back. And do you know who else is going to have 48 days to invest in kingdom living, kingdom fruit, whatever it is God's calling you to do? Nobody, because nobody asks these questions, you know? And so you can find the things that just soak up your life, your attention, your energy, and you can start cutting them. and finding other ways. Can you automate it? Is there someone else who can do it for you? Can you negotiate with someone and give them something they want to do it for you? And you can clean out all of the time wasters, kind of like spring cleaning, except you're doing it for your time. And you can get down to the essential things and you can just focus on them, the important things. And um, and so I would encourage you to really, really put some attention into your time as a resource and say, how am I using this? And am I using it in a godly way? And what can I totally cut out? What can I mostly cut out? And be brutal about it. Go to town and just cut out as much as you can cut out that you shouldn't be doing. And just reassess that at first every month and then every 90 days to 6 months as you get things under control. And then you come back and you just tweak it and you just tweak it. So anyway, with that, thank you for being in this video. I'm going to do one more video after this, and we're going to talk about one mental model or decision-making model that you can apply to your time to get the biggest return with the least amount of effort. And we'll go over that in the next video. So thank you for being here. God bless.